Hello everyone, and I'll be telling you today about the 4 macromolecules of biology. The first macromolecule, carbohydrates, monomer is called a monosaccharide, and it looks like this. 2 monosaccharides when combined becomes a disaccharide, and if you combine 2 or more disaccharides, they form a polysaccharide. Carbohydrates' main purpose is to be short-term energy. As soon as it's ingested, it will be broken down to create energy. Some example of carbs are like breads, whole grains, and legumes. The next macromolecule are lipids. Lipids are so large that they don't have a monomer. Lipids are made up of either one of 2 types of fatty acids, either the saturated or the unsaturated. The unsaturated are not covered completely in hydrogens. There are a couple of carbons that have no hydrogens attached to them, while the saturated, each and every carbon has hydrogens on both sides. And some examples of both of these are butter is an example of a saturated lipid, while oils like things like vegetable oil or olive oil are unsaturated. So that would cause them to be liquid while butter is solid at room temperature. The third, but the most important and most discussed macromolecule in biology is the protein. The proteins are made of amino acids, and amino acids are combined to one another through the dehydration synthesis. And when 2 amino acids are combined together, they form a peptide bond. There are 4 primary structures for a protein. There's the primary structure, which is the sequence of amino acids combining to each other. There's the secondary structure, which is when this amino acid chain begins to fold on itself. There's the tertiary structure, is when it begins to gain a 3D shape. And the quaternary structure is when these 3D shapes begin to combine to one another to form proteins. The 4th and final macromolecule are nucleic acids. Nucleic acids monomer is called a nucleotide. These nucleotides, when combined, form nucleic acids, which are extremely important in the formation of both DNA and RNA. The difference between the two, both DNA and RNA, is that DNA has 2 sugars, deoxyribose, while RNA only has a singular sugar, just ribose. And also that DNA has 2 strands, while RNA has 1. The 4 macromolecules of bio are as followed: carbs, lipids, proteins, and don't forget nucleic acid. First, let's start with carbs. They're the main energy of the body. Carbs are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. This macromolecule has smaller units called monosaccharides. Carbs are mainly found in things like bread, grains, and don't forget legumes. Plants store carbs in the form of starch, and humans store it in as glycogen. Now, let's talk about the next macromolecule. They're called lipids. They're mainly made of fats. They're made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, but with a little phosphorus. Lipids are too large to have a monomer, but they're made of fatty acids. These acids come in 2 types, unsaturated and saturated. Lipids can be found in butter, oil, waxes, but also in steroids. These macromolecules play a large part in acting as the membrane for the cell.
Now let's talk about the last macromolecule, proteins, the building block that make up the whole body and give you the muscular strength to do very strenuous jobs. They are very helpful and make you look strong. The monomers of proteins are amino acids. Proteins are found in any cycle need. Now nitrogen is a molecular list. Now let's talk about the last molecule, nucleic acids, and the ones that make up the nucleic acids are DNA and RNA. They store genetic information and pass on to your future shortly. The main differences between DNA and RNA is DNA has an oxygen component to the structure. RNA lacks the presence of oxygen in the structure. The molecules that compose the nucleic acids are carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and hydrogen.